To make my crochet flower bud, I'm using a 3.5 crochet hook as I want to make the stitches as clear as possible. If I was making a normal flower bud, I'd use a much smaller hook and much finer yarn. To start, I'm going to make a magic circle. So yarn over to make my cross, and I'll pick up my yarn. And there's my magic circle. To start, I'm going to chain 3, and that will count as my first double crochet. And now I'm going to add 11 double crochet into my magic circle. Here's my first and my second. So I'll continue round until I have my 11 double crochet, and I will slip stitch into my third chain. Here I am after row 1. Now for row 2, I've chained 1, and I'm going to add a single crochet into every stitch. So that will be 12 single crochet in total. Here I am after row 2, and I've done my 12 single crochet. Now I've actually cut my yarn now because I want my flower bud to start from here. Now you can choose whether to start your flower bud from row 2, 3, 4 or 5. And I'm going to start mine from row 3. So I'm going to attach my yarn to any stitch, and I'm going to get my new colour yarn for my flower bud. So here I'm going to use some blue, and it's the same type of yarn, so there's no difference. I'm going to attach my yarn, and I'm going to do 12 single crochet all the way around. So I'll just start here and continue all the way around and slip stitch into the end. Now that is going to be row 3. Row 4 and 5 will be a repeat of row 3, so 12 single crochets for the next 2 rows, and I'll meet you at row 6. Here we are for row 6 and our final row. So now what we're going to do, we're going to chain 1 single crochet, and then we're going to skip a stitch, single crochet, skip a stitch, and we'll continue this round, and in total you'll have 6 stitches. Skip. I've finished my 6 single crochets, and I've cut my yarn, so I'm going to pull it out through, and then what I will do now is I'm going to attach a tapestry needle to the end of my yarn. And I'm simply going to weave in and out of all my stitches to gently close my flower bud. So I'll weave them in and out. Sorry, I try and keep this in the camera. As this is quite a large bud, you could add some stuffing inside, but if you are making with a much finer yarn, there'll be no need to. But as you can see, this one is much bigger. Okay, so there is my center closed. So what I like to do is just add a little stitch, a little knot, sorry. Pull it closed. I always like to add 2 for good measure, and then I like to insert my yarn and pull it out somewhere in the same color. Pull it all the way through. And then I'll just pull my yarn still slightly tighter, and then I'll just snip here, and the yarn will bounce back inside, and there'll be no tail on the outside. And there is your crochet flower bud. Now, like I said, if you wanted to change your yarn color at different stages, you will create a different type of bud.